Good morning, guys. Good morning. Yes, just pulling up on the YouTube. Parched. So I had to get my beauty nap and said, yeah, when I get up, get to myself, do what I gotta do. I am gonna say, yeah, Saturday, yay, yay, man. We can, like the weekend. Seriously, guys. But nevertheless, nam one. As me pull up on the YouTube, respect all the ambitious dance and not the bad dance. Where are you now? Come sit in at the content. Draw a chair or your bed and bring a company. What we say? Bring a friend. Bring your mom. Bring your aunt. Share the live. Pull up on the YouTube and the ambitious one them. Come onto the YouTube and watch the content. Bring a friend. Bring your mom. Bring your dad. And make we unpack this content. Now, good morning, guys. Yeah, we happy Saturday, right? Happy Saturday, guys. We're coming with this one, a careless one, but nevertheless, we'll be like, oh my God, imagine this, imagine that. Now, guys, imagine you're 87 years old and you have lived your life to the fullest or to the longest, because nowadays people are dying very young, okay? So we have to say to the fullest, right? Because when you live to 87, nowadays days, when people, enough time you hear a lot of people, or a lot of times you hear a lot of people are saying, oh, go away, you're old. But I guess they don't understand life is supposed to be grown old. That's how you know you have lived life, right? You live your life because of the longevity of it, right? But when you cut down like a grass and cut down very young, you haven't lived any life, okay? So nothing less, nothing less, nothing less, nothing more, guys. This man was 87 years old, murdered over a box of cereal. Say what now? Murdered over a box of cereal, guys. Okay? Murder over a box of cereal, all right? So I'm going to read from the best of my ability. You guys know that I always got you guys with the audio and the video, right? Because when I say audio, everybody's like, okay, but you showed the video. So I'm going to like just say audio, video, all right? And then we're going to go into some other topics that we always do and get the content or the live together, all right? But anyhow, like I said, happy Saturday and bless up you guys' good self, taking a break rather, weekend after payday, and all those good stuff. Make it a good day and a great day. Rest up, enjoy yourself, but not too much. Because remember, we're ambitious and we have Monday morning to push out, or Monday evening, or Monday night. Whatever you do now, okay? So be mindful. So like I said, this is a dreadful crime, savage crime, barbaric crime, and this man was 87 years old, okay? So let's get into the story quick and fast, all right? So we're all the way in the story. Man jailed over murder for a box of cornflakes, all right? So, you know, we always have some odd and weird and strange stories, but we're going to unpack it anyway, okay? A mugger who murdered an 87-year-old man as he walked home with his shopping has been jailed for a minimum of 23 years. The Old Bailey heard how Peter Augustine, 59, lost his temper during an attempt to take John Mackey's bag outside a Co-op store in Manor House, North London, on 6th of May, May the 6th, whatever you choose. Mr. Mackey, who lived in Finsbury Park, but was originally, right, from Ireland, died in hospital 2 days after the attack, in which he was kicked, punched, and stomped on. Yikes. Sentencing Augustine to life with a minimum term of 23 years, Miss Justice Whitehouse said he had killed a gentle, innocent man for a box of cornflakes, a pint of milk, and a save low such is. Make that make sense for you? What was in the man's bag? What was in the man's bag, people? Come now. A box of cornflakes, pint of milk, okay? And save low, or save low sausages. That's all was in the box, guys. And he was beat and stomped and kicked. An 87-year-old, okay? She added, I have no doubt that if the defendant was starving and I had asked Mr. Mackey for help, right? So she just said ingenuinely, say, you see the old man and you're starving. He could have just asked Mr. Mackey, the victim, for help, basically what the judge is saying, right? This kind, generous gentleman would have assisted him. So basically they know the man, he's 87 years old. He's been around, always go and get his milk and his cereal, right? When you like something, you just like something, right? Mr. Mackey had lived in North London for 70 years. What did I say? And was well known locally. What did I say? Because you know when you live in a place for so long, you just have a habit, you have a routine, and you just get to know everybody, young and old, the new, the old and the new and the old, the good and the bad. So everybody know Mr. Mackey, basically. That's why we come pack this content right here now, Saturday morning. Okay, let's continue. He's well known locally for his trademark Trilby hat. Okay, so he wears a certain hat. His close family relationships and his love of Arsenal FC. On the day of the attack, he had picked up some shopping from the supermarket and was walking home. He was frail and used a stick. So this guy basically picked on the lowest, not lowest as in lowest, but the senior citizen, someone who can fight you off, a low kind of victim, where as you push them, they fall. The man is walking with a stick. The man is 87 years old. I don't know how much more can you pound and kick and stomp on an old person for a bag of cereal. Okay? One piece of sausage in the bag now and milk. That's why I come and unpack the story, because the story was bizarre when I was reading it. And I'm like, oh my God, I could just make this be a content like now. You know what I mean? This is just crazy. So I know we talk about weird stories and crazy stories, but nothing no savage more than this, a box of cereal and a pint of milk. You understand? Nevertheless, let's continue, okay? This man, this is, I'm just sitting and just shaking my head, guys, like literally shaking my head. The court heard Augustine had been on the lookout for victims and spotted the 87-year-old cross a busy road before following him for 15 minutes. So he preyed him down. He stalked him, basically. So this was premeditated murder, I would think. How do you follow a senior citizen for 15 minutes? For what for? You see him walking with a stick. Are you going to help him with the bag? So you're just going to go rob him with the bag and follow him at that? Oh, Jaja. I'm assuming that the camera and eyewitness maybe say these kind of things, right? Because remember, he got sentenced now. Anyhow, so after the old man crossed the busy street, the animal didn't even say, okay, let him help the old man cross the street. Like back in the days, you help an old person cross the street, right? Somebody's pregnant, an old person, you're in a bus, you get up, you give them the seat. Old person, like them kind of genuine, like, yo, the humanity is out of humans nowadays days. Nobody have no compassion, empathy, sympathy, nothing of that sort, right? Anyhow, continue. So basically, he followed him for 15 minutes and then attacking him in a quiet location. What a punk. You know what I mean? Quiet where nobody not seem to come and stomp your back, because everybody know this man. Remember, this man been living there for so long. All right? Witnesses says to the minute-long attack, describe him shouting, "Give me the bag! Give me the bag!" while punching and stomping on John Mackey. Prosecutor Jane Beckerstaff KC said there had been no need to use any violence at all, because like I said, he's holding a stick. So if you grab the bag and run like an ass, the man ain't gonna chase you. Okay? So we're not saying you should go around and rob the senior, but why stomp him? What is he gonna really do to you? The most thing they're gonna do is maybe try to hold on to the bag. Cause that's the only their difference, maybe hold on to their belongings. Cause you know how old folks are, right? So this is troubling and disturbing, but we had to come and unpack. Okay? So let's continue. He could have just snatched the bag, like I said, from Mr. Mackey's hand, she told the court. Well, obviously, because he have a stick, so by the time you snatch the stick, it's not snatch the bag, he may be gonna fall, right? Right? Simple, right? This is disturbing. Instead, Augustine used an astonishing level of gratuitous violence, she said, which was wholly unnecessary, and as a witness observed, carrying out the extreme anger. Sentencing, the judge told the court that the killing was not the result of an attempt to steal the bag, but Augustine's rage. Okay? The defendant, who was convicted by a jury on this November 13th, was also sentenced 4 weeks imprisonment for theft and 8 years for robbery. The sentence will be served concurrently. During the trial, the judge took the rare step of excluding Augustine from the courtroom as he was giving evidence because of his aggressive outbursts. Okay? He refused to attend a psychiatrist, okay? A psychiatrist, people, appointment and meetings to discuss the case, and was absent from Friday's sentencing hearing, claiming he had a back problem. Oh, Father God. But he never had a back problem when he was kicking and stomping the old man, right? His back was really fine now. The victim's niece, Patricia, told the court that the defendant had shown complete disdain and disrespect to the family. She described Mr. Mackey as the perfect uncle, Jaja. She said he was funny, charming, mysterious, and very definitely, okay, never seen without his trial by hat and always dressed up. He was always interesting in our lives, taking us to see beloved Arsenal and introducing some of us to pubs around Manor House. She said he was never happier than when he was the extended Irish family, and his murder had caused deep upset. Now, people, let's get to the perpetrator. When you look at the perpetrator, you have to say that the perpetrator surely looks like he has an issue. Okay, guys? So let me show you the perpetrator right now. And this is what the perpetrator looked like. So when you look at this man, you said, yeah, something is going on here, but we're not here to justify that. Okay, guys? So this is the man who got the life sentence, basically, for stomping out the old man for a box of cereal, a sausages, and milk. Stalked the old man for 15 minutes, watched the old man cross the street, didn't assist the old man to come across the street. Could have just snatched the bag from the old man, and he decided to stamp out the old man, kick the old man, and punch out the old man. The old man died, lived on earth for 87 years, and died over cereal, okay, sausages, and milk. All right? So that's how disturbing the world has gotten. Okay? We're picking on the vulnerable, the children, the old folks, the babies. Okay? And babies are children, but I'm just saying, wrapping it up. And everything that people do out here nowadays days. So it's disturbing and troubling. Okay, guys? So that's the story and the content I had to come and unpack today. And say, guys, nevertheless, although we come and unpack that, I still have to give you guys the audio and the video. So let's get to it, please, and thank you.
Peter Augustine killed this gentleman. He attacked Mr. Mackey for a box of cornflakes, a pint of milk, and a Savoy sausage. I have no doubt that if the defendant was genuinely starving...
And pint of milk is nothing, that's why I say pints. There's nothing in the milk. Oh, God. This
generous gentleman would have shared what he had with him. In those circumstances, I take 15 years as the starting point. However, that is not the end point. John Mackey was particularly and obviously vulnerable because of his age and limited mobility. He was also in the early stages of Alzheimer's disease. I have no doubt that the defendant targeted him specifically because he was frail. It was a cowardly attack. The defendant has shown no remorse. Excessive violence was used against John Mackey. He must have suffered pain and fear during an attack that lasted for several seconds, and which was accompanied by loud shouting on the part of the defendant, such as he displayed in court in the course of the trial. The sentence I passed for the murder of John Mackey is one of life imprisonment. The minimum term that he must serve before he will be considered by the parole board will be one of 23 years.
I hope that Augustine's sentencing today is a small reprieve for the family of John, who I know will be remembered as a proud Irishman, an uncle and brother who will be sorely missed. His family have told me that John was funny and charming, a lifelong Arsenal fan who was adored by his family and was loved by his local community. It is a shameful tragedy that John was killed by Augustine for a mere few bits of shopping. He deserved better. Augustine's sentence today is testament to the officers who worked incredibly hard to build the evidence against him, which proved his part in
Pint of
John's
milk
death.
in a people.
We are dedicated to tackling violent
Right?
offenders.
And you have to say pint because at the end of the day, let me interject for a second. And you have to say pint of milk because remember, old folks don't drink milk like how some people drink milk. The milk is maybe going to serve them for a while because they might go add a little bit in the cereal now and then add a bit in their tea. You know how old folks go. They don't eat a lot when they're old, right? God bless them if you see they eat a whole plate of food at times, right? Oh, Judger.
To ensure that those responsible for these acts are brought to justice. I would like to finish by sending my thoughts to John's family. Justice has been served, and they can now remember John for the loving man that he once was. Thank you.
Today is the end of a journey our family never wanted to take and wouldn't wish on anyone. Our lovely gentle uncle was taken from us in a brutal act of senseless violence by a man the exact opposite of John Mackey. Dearly loved by his sisters Betty and Ellen, brothers Tommy and Liam, his 22 nieces and nephews in his community, John was a quiet, unassuming and charming man.
Okay, guys.
His loss will always be felt, but his memory will live on.
So that's the family talking, giving their statement and what have you and all of that. Okay, from there, 1 second. 1 second. 1 second, guys.
Peter
1 second.
Peter Augustine.
Let's get to this
This
one.
is the moment Peter Augustine was arrested for robbing and attacking a pensioner, leaving him for dead. John Mackey was completely unaware that a regular trip to the shops for dinner would be his last. As he walked back home to his flat in the Manor House area of North London, the 87-year-old was repeatedly kicked, punched and stamped. Defenceless, weighing only 9 stone, he was unable to put up a fight. He died days later. Augustine left with only Mr. Mackey's cereal and a cottage pie, the results of his brutal actions. Today, he was sentenced to life in prison for murder and robbery. Mr. Mackey's nieces and nephews say they finally got justice for their uncle.
Today is the end of a journey our family never wanted to take and wouldn't wish on anyone.
So you saw that part the other day, or just now. Okay, so this happened the other day, guys, and I'm just dropping it now.
Knowing he will probably never see the light of day
Okay.
again is the one consolation we have. To losing such a wonderful uncle. He really was.
The court heard that Augustine was loitering around the kebab shop where Mr. Mackey was getting food. He waited until he left the shop and was alone on the street to make his attack. This was not caught on CCTV, but around 3 minutes later, it looked like Augustine had Mr. Mackey's bag, leaving Mr. Mackey on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from the head. Her Honourable Judge Whitehouse Casey sentenced him to 23 years in prison with no chance of parole until he is in his 80s.
I have no doubt that the defendant targeted him specifically because
Okay.
he was frail.
And I show you that part
It was
already.
a cowardly attack. The defendant has shown...
Over a box of cereal, bah. So you got some bizarre and crazy and sad stories out here, but only over here when you have to make sure you come over here by subscribing and all of that, guys. So it's troubling and disturbing for me. So that's why I had to come and unpack that story and said, oh my God, over a box of cereal? Seriously? over a box of cereal. Seriously. So that's the story, guys. That's you guys' content for Saturday. We made it. Oh my God, it's the weekend already. All right. From there, guys, we want to get to since we're in the London, let's get to UK. The new law that they're coming now when it comes to immigration, changing a few things when it comes to asylum seekers. Okay. They're having some changes with immigration, so let's get into that quick and fast. All right. 1 second.
I come from Botswana. I'm an asylum seeker here in UK.
Masego's claim was rejected by the Home Office in 2022, and she's been appealing ever since. During this time, she's been housed and given £50 a week. The Home Office said today it'll reform the appeal system to stop what it describes as gaming.
So you appealed when they first rejected you?
Yes, it's the Home Office rejection and the court rejection. That one they just say that not appeal. So I was very disappointed. It was painful.
There will be some people who say to you, look, you can't go on appealing forever. You need to accept that you've been rejected and that you won't get asylum here and that you should go home.
Some people say that because they don't know why, what made you. There's no woman who can leave her house, leave whatever. I had a car, I have a good life, I had my children. I cannot live that good life to come and live in a room like this, like a prison.
There are around 50,000 asylum seekers like Masego waiting on an appeal, as they're legally entitled to do. The Home Secretary, in language that's been criticised by some, claims that many are chancing their arm. She wants to make it easier to deport those who are rejected. But how will this work when we don't have returns agreements with many of their home countries?
What kind of?
Nathaniel Abraham and his wife Almaz, who has MS, are from Ethiopia.
With your illness and trying to look after the children, it must be difficult.
Almaz tells me she struggles to leave the house. The family are ethnically Amara. It's well documented that their people have faced sustained human rights abuses.
It's killing too many child, too many people. You know why? Because Amara. Amara means me. Amara means my wife, my child asleep.
In the last 7 years, he's exhausted all asylum appeals, but there's no formal returns agreement with Ethiopia, and the couple have since had 2 children, so they haven't been returned and will still get support until they turn 18, something the government now wants to end.
You hear
so
that?
what will the Home Office plans mean
Okay.
for those who claim their lives are at risk back home? 6 days a week, Masego.
Okay. So right now that's it. So as soon as your asylum is refused, they want to put you on a plane. So that's the update when it comes to the immigration, if you guys don't know. Okay. All right. Moving on. Literally, guys, I'm not staying long with you guys. I have a busy day, although it's Saturday, but I gotta run same way. You know what I mean? I have things to do, and I'm parched from yesterday. I came in late yesterday from the Muppet show. This show. I went to this show yesterday with the kiddies. You don't know we do kiddies. Like I'm tired to tell you guys. Yo, I'm an idiot for my children. So when these things come around, it's family time. Yes, family time. So remember a couple of days ago I said to you guys, you know, I'm gonna be busy because I have some family time. I have some things to do. Family. This was it. So we went to the Christmas Carol live in concert, the Muppet, and they enjoyed it. Okay, it was a long drive down. I think next time if I want to go in the city, really, I would have to just take the GO train because driving down in the city is crazy. Parking was easy because we really parked literally next door. But at the end of the day, the driving in the traffic to get there for 7:30 p.m. it was very steep. It was very long, tiresome. You know what I mean? But remember, you know, at the end of the day, you gotta, you know, children are children, and you gotta make sure that you fulfill their dreams and their needs, because forever they're always gonna remember that they went to this, right? So you always try to do memory stuff. It's a little bit costly, but you always have to try to do memory stuff, because at the end of the day, no, they're kind of children. You can't keep them in the house. You can't coop them up in the house. So yeah. So if you are interested, the next show is on today. This is the last show. Yesterday was the first show. Today's the last show. They only have 2 shows, and then they will come back sometime next year, I believe. Okay, so yeah, we want to go and see the Nutcracker as well, because you know we used to do like Disney and Ice and all of those kind of things, but as so much as the children them grow, you can't do those things no more, right? So you gotta find things of their age group. Okay, and if you're gonna do family, you're gonna do things as family and do whatever, right? So those are 1 and 2 things that I like to do with my family. How about you? You like those kind of things? Well, high five if you like those kind of things and you say you do family. Okay, moving on, running on. Okay, moving on, running on. Nevertheless, guys, let's talk about some other things. So from there, guys, we want to get to Hong Kong. As you guys know, there was a significant terrible fire in Hong Kong the other day, and we want to get to Hong Kong. Okay, it made it news headline.
And just lastly,
So as of 3 p.m. today, we got 128 deceased persons confirmed case. We expected that when our DVIU officers entered other buildings, the number of death toll may be on the rise. Regarding the missing person report, as I have reported earlier, we have tried our best to call back some of the identified persons and also their relatives. And when we call back some of the informants, they actually have been in contact with their relatives or missing friends already. But for some of the cases, the informants only provided very limited or insufficient information. For example, they can just provide a nickname, or they just guess maybe their friend may be living there.
So the police is having their
really insufficient for
giving the update of the toll of the big fire that happened in Hong Kong. Give me a second. Right here.
Turn our attention to Hong Kong now, where 3 days of mourning are underway following a deadly fire that engulfed a residential block on Wednesday. So far, 128 people are known to have died. We can show you the scene there live now. The Disaster Victims Identification Unit has entered the site to assist in search and rescue and to confirm the identity
Cut the buildings,
of
man.
the deceased.
Look.
The authorities say around 200 people are still missing. In the last few hours,
And the
Hong Kong's
fire,
leader and top government officials stood in silence for 3 minutes at 8 a.m. local time.
Judge.
Flags have been flown at half-mast. Paul Marriott works as a teacher at Law Ting Pong Secondary School. He told me what he saw.
I will just kind of go through what went down. So I teach a technology subject at the school, and we do have quite a few, little fires and little
So we're in Hong
smokes,
Kong.
coming out of the hill from time to time. What happens is sometimes there are, little bushfires. Sometimes people drop lit cigarettes, and sometimes people will burn sacrifices and stuff to their idols. So what happened was I was having a lesson. I just finished. I was doing my curriculum stuff in my room at the school in Tai Po, and I walked outside just to stretch my legs. And I had about 3 of my students say to me, Mr. Marriott, there's all that smoke. Someone's causing a fire. And I looked around and I saw all this smoke.
Holy
It looked
shit,
like it was
people. Look at
emanating
that.
from the mountain, from the hill.
All the buildings,
And I just kind of figured, it's no big deal. It's like someone.
Look, guys, all the buildings. Look.
Fire. They're burning leaves and
Jaja.
and then
Biggest
it
fire
wasn't
in Hong
until I
Kong.
went back to my homeroom that I got a message from my
What
wife
would
saying
make
that,
all these
there's
buildings go
been
up like
a
this?
building fire in Tai Po. And I thought, oh my gosh, it must be that fire. It must be that smoke. And I went out, and the smoke was billowing even more.
Okay,
There was
guys.
literally a path of
So,
smoke.
every day there's something, man. So that's what's happening in Hong Kong right now. From there, guys, we want to go to 1 second. 1 second. So yeah, we want to go somewhere else. 1 second. So we want to go all the way here. 1 second, to Jamaica. All right, for a
there's
drowning
growing
teen.
outrage this evening from the family of a missing teenager who says the authorities failed them in their desperate search for their relative. Following a broken promise, the family insists they have been left to shoulder the burden alone. More in this report.
What began as a simple Sunday ritual between a father and son ended in unthinkable tragedy and days of anguish. For years, 15-year-old Kadra Bennett and his father Garrett spent their Sundays at the river. But this past Sunday would mark their final trip together. Kadra, a Fern Court High student, had wandered down to the river mouth with friends when his father cooked nearby. Moments later, everything changed.
After a few minutes,
I looked up and I did not see them. And I stepped out in the open to look where they were.
So
and
we're in
I
Jamaica,
saw that
guys.
they had gone down to the river. So I shouted to them, told them to come back up to me because I don't want them down there. In the space of them coming back to me, they were on a blow-up tube. And my son stepped off the tube. The water from the river washed him away. And he entered the water once and did not come back up.
The police were notified, but it wasn't until early Monday morning a search began, led by family members and a JDF unit. However, heavy rain forced the operation to be halted until Tuesday. Tuesday brought nothing, no sign of Kadri. By Wednesday, the family clung to the hope that the JDF would continue the search, a promise given. But that hope was shattered when no team arrived.
We are here at 5 today, Wednesday, and we haven't seen them as yet. I have been calling from morning. Called so much, and still nothing. So we don't know what to do from here on. We need a little help. At least today is the day that they said the body would be floating, and we haven't seen anyone even to give us a boat circle to see, or a drone. We have to be doing everything for ourselves.
For his mother, Natalie Johnson, the disappointment cut deeply.
So I was keeping my hope up that I'm going to find my baby today because I just want to find him. I just want to see him. And I thought I would see him today, but it turned up no yesterday hours and nothing. I don't see the JDF. The police came earlier today because they said they get a call and they come and talk and they end up left after a while.
Now the family is left at the shoreline, staring into the waves.
So do you guys hear that?
grappling
That's
with
sad,
the heart-
man. A trip that turned out every time going to the river end up being tragic. Okay, guys? Be mindful now these days. When it comes to water. You know what I mean? Guys, from there, we want to talk about some other things, and then I'm going to wrap up this live because, like I said, I got to go, and I have things to do. So the end of the day, okay? 1 second. Now, I want to talk about Kenika Jenkins. Remember Kenika Jenkins? Kenika Jenkins, that girl that went to some party in a hotel, was found in the hotel freezer, The mom came out and said basically they paid her, I think, 3.7 million to don't say anything about the case or don't talk about the case. And now 8 years later, she's talking about the case and and I don't know if you guys heard about what's going on there, but let's get to the situation with Kenika Jenkins' mom and a whole charade that's happening now. All right.
Hey, welcome back to the channel.
Okay, right? So 1 second. 1 second, guys.
He described her as kind, loyal.
They told her she was dead at 1 something, but they didn't let me see her body until 4 hours later. They did let me see. They refused my mother, my sister, her uncles. They refused my family to see her. They said only you and your daughter can see it, and you can't take pictures because this is a crime scene.
And this is so in the deep freezer?
This in the deep freezer, but at this time they had let the morgue take her, move her, defrost the freezer.
Right.
Her hair had soaking water up on her. Yeah. She was defrosted in the freezer. They defrost the whole freezer. Yeah. I guess that's why it gave 4 hours, right? Yeah. But I asked her, can I see my daughter? Yeah. Why I can't see how she died? Why I can't see? Because I know in the deep freezer, I know at my job, and it won't open. Now remind you can't even hold your balance.
Yeah.
Water.
Right.
So now you got to struggle, and at my job with our coolers, you got to have some strength to yank these doors open.
Yeah.
Now remind you, they said she couldn't barely hold herself up, let alone pull open the door.
Right.
And they said the police department said freak accidents like that do happen.
So they're saying
and they said they didn't see her. And it's the camera sitting right in front of the cooler. They didn't see how she got in there.
So they trying to tell you? They're trying to tell you?
I said this the detectives that was
Okay.
And then this.
So before that, after that, people.
Y'all ain't even got. It ain't happened by. Say about me, y'all don't know what it's a.
So now she's saying after the money, after the settlement, guys.
No longer represent me.
See? After the settlement is over, they're saying 8 years later now she's coming to rant all of these things that they paid her some money to stay quiet, okay? So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of the rant, okay, people? Quick and fast.
What they call Jesus. And thank God that y'all did.
So they're saying she's not in her right mind.
I looked in the mirror for 51 years and I never saw who God created me to be. Hallelujah. But let me tell y'all something today. Y'all say something wrong with me. It is.
See?
I'm stayed up on Jesus. I'm crazy about the Lord. For God I live and for God I die. And if they ready to take me to court, they say if I put both of them together, I heard them, I see them. If God show me a little what makes y'all think he won't show me a lot, I'm going to pray for y'all that send them y'all words. Because I'm calling it. I told y'all once, the rapture is coming. I wish y'all understand this. But those who have ears, y'all don't have to understand.
So that's the way she's been going from the other day, okay? But to me, she said she's praying to God. It's fine with me. Listen.
If there's any attorneys out there that's not afraid, that's not going to tell me that they care, and trick me to tell me that you found out information about my child just to trick me and my daughter on my daughter's birthday in the room. It's out there. You said it's it. It's it. Got
okay.
Concerned about when we killing ourselves.
Hold on, and we're gonna back it up. We're gonna keep on going up. All right.
Even with the shape I got, I do. What page? Y'all keep on.
Okay, so that's the rant that she's been going on with from the other day, okay? And people are like, yo, something is really wrong. But if you listen, she's talking about God and everything. So I don't know how crazy can you be if you talk about God. I don't know, man. Anyways, people know these days, I don't know. So they're basically saying she got a settlement money. She ate all the money, all right? And now she's out here ranting for no apparent reason, right? Okay, guys?
Welcome back.
People represent me. So y'all know my act.
Okay. So that's what they're saying, basically.
At the time in the hood, 26 lemons.
So everybody's saying basically she ate up the 3.7 million money settlement, and now out here want to say this and that. But remember, they said in the settlement, you're not supposed to come and talk about the money that you got. And and because the money is finished now, she's out here ranting because maybe she wants a GoFundMe money and all of those kind of nonsense that they've been claiming out here that's happening now. All right. From there, we want to go to Canada for a second. We get to understand that 25,000 Canadians died waiting for surgery. Remember, there was a backlog on the surgery. So let's get to it, please, and thank you.
You have tens of thousands of Canadians who died waiting for medical care last year alone. So this is like kind of like
it's probably all in Quebec.
Yeah, or Ontario. This is like medical assistance in dying, except you actually wanted to live and your medical system is just collapsing.
And I'm going to do a whole content on this.
Of population growth we've seen in recent years, coupled with the influx of mental health crises, opioid addiction, and other health issues that, you know, I don't want to say that necessarily like the novel thing that was coerced onto everyone and their child up until their elderly aging grandparent.
Yeah.
What kind of health effects does that thing have on the greater population? So these numbers are
staggering,
absolutely crazy in supposed to be a first world country with world-class healthcare, right? Canada's socialized healthcare system has been a talking point for generations as the like world-class leading cutting-edge place to be for healthcare. And yet we have thousands, tens of thousands of Canadians dying on wait lists thanks to our world-class healthcare system.
Okay. So that's happening now,
This
people.
is
So
so
if you're interested
ironic
about your health, well, you should read about it and care about it. Okay, guys? So I'm going to wrap up this live quick and fast, okay? Quick and fast. And let's get into this one. So we're going to go to Jamaica for a second. So Jamaican urged to add condoms in the relief kits. Jamaican urged to add condoms in the relief kit, guys, because while relief packages for hurricane victims usually consist of items including goods, there's a growing call to include condoms as many persons will turn to human nature sex, which is both destruction and response to the dullness left by Hurricane Melissa. Destruction. Some Jamaicans have criticized this view, suggesting that affected individuals should focus on rebuilding and not replenishing. So right now they say, while you're giving the care package, add some condoms in there, please. They said safe sex, please. So if you're giving any relief packages, people, they said put some condoms in it for safe sex. You don't mind, do you? All of that. Okay, guys, from there, where we're at. From there, guys, we want to talk about this. Molson Coors accuses ex-managers of multi-million-dollar fraud scheme, guys. So we're going to do a content on this whole thing because we never know that Molson the beer has a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme, and I never know this is happening going down. The beer, as in beer. Okay, guys? So I want to come and talk about that another time, all right? Then we want to go here. Trump says he will pardon former Honduran president serving sentence in drug trafficking case. Okay? So here goes, drug trafficking case is going to get pardoned, but other people are going to jail for drug trafficking. And Donald Trump is saying lock them up because they're criminals, they're drug lords, they're drug this, they're drug that. But yet, so you're pardoning, he's pardoning the former Honduran president serving sentence in drug trafficking case, guys. So, ouch. You know what I mean? All of those kind of things. So, guys, I just want to say happy Saturday. Thanks for stopping by. It's a pleasure as always. I'll catch you guys another time with a content or two. Peace out.